Last week, Greene County hosted its first annual outdoor show, and Greene County Airport Restaurant announced that it will not be reopening.
Gas prices may be on the rise again as oil barrel production slows, and North Korean missiles sent over Japan have prompted a U.S. response. All this and more right here on WCTV.
And now, your 5 o'clock news on Channel 14.
Hello and welcome to WCTV's Newscast Live here at 5. I'm Darian Allensworth.
And I'm Logan Lepiscopo. There's a new annual event in Greene County, an outdoor show hosted by the Parks and Rec Department. Gwen Napier was there for the very first time it was held.
I'm Gwen Napier standing here at the Greene County Fairgrounds where the first annual outdoor show is taking place.
Today we're having an outdoor sports show. It's for anything that has to do with the outdoors. We've got hunting, fishing, crafts, lawn mowers, lawn care, sporting goods, so anything that has to do with the outdoors. I think we have something for everybody. I think even if you're not a hunter, we still have sporting goods, and we have crafts for people who like crafts.
So I'm friends with Brett Moore, who is the director of Parks and Rec, and he asked us to set up today. And we brought 60 mums with us, plus some of the other stuff from our gift shop and flower shop, which is the perfect arrangement in lily bees. And I have to say we had a great day. I mean, the mums sold very quickly, and we had a nice crowd considering the rain. And this is the first annual Greene County outdoor show, and it'll probably get better and better every year. So we just brought a little sample of everything we have at the store, and we had a great day.
I'm Gwen Napier reporting for WCTV, Channel 14, Waynesburg.
A local coffee shop has partnered with Waynesburg University for years. Madeline Verhoff sat down with the owner of Glorious Ceramics to talk about that history.
Down the road in Franklin Township lies Glorious Ceramics. This small business has enabled Waynesburg University students to hold an event known as the Bisque and Brew. Once a month, students have the opportunity to relax by painting a bisque of their choosing and enjoying a free Starbucks coffee. But where does all the bisque come from? This cozy shop is stuffed with homemade ceramics anyone would love. I spoke to the owner, Patricia Rohana, and she tells me she has been providing Waynesburg with ceramics for over 14 years.
I enjoy taking it up. You know, I meet new kids every year, and it's a wonderful boost to my income here because there's months when it's very slow here. And in fact, it was a big help getting through COVID because I quit having classes here because I didn't want to be surrounded by 8 women in this small space. I enjoy it, and like I said, it is really, it's really good for my business, and you know, just to get some bisque out in the public and let people know I'm here too.
14 years strong and counting. If you'd like to support Patricia and her business, remember to mark your calendars for the next Bisque and Brew. Reporting in Waynesburg, I'm Madeline Verhoff on Channel 14 News.
A long-standing park in the area is getting a new owner, Iron Synergy, a Kentucky-based company that operates long wall mines in Waynesburg, donated Franklin Township Iron Synergy Park to the township. The park originally was leased to Franklin Township on a 25-year basis. There are currently 3 soccer fields and a concession stand at the park, and the township plans to develop it further.
The Waynesburg University Disability Services Office released guidelines on how students should act around working animals on campus. These guidelines apply to both service animals and emotional support animals and their handlers. If you see handlers with their animals out on campus, students should follow these guidelines. Refrain from asking handlers specific questions about disabilities, treat handlers with respect, ask before petting or approaching the animal, and respect the decision made by handlers. This has been one of the first infographics sent out to the student population from the Disability Services Office on this topic. And that's because Sarah Feldberg, the new service disability coordinator on campus, is hoping to start a conversation on campus and educate the student body.
I think the message is that we are inclusive and welcoming to students with disabilities, and that we want to provide them with reasonable accommodations, you know, and that we are acknowledging you know, again, we want to have this broad, diverse student body. We want students with disabilities to have a meaningful educational experience. We want to provide reasonable accommodations sort of in the spirit of our legal requirements as well. So I would say those are our broad aims. Students with questions are more than welcome to reach out to me, and that I think that kind of conversation, again, a lot of my role is based on a case-by-case consideration of needs. So I think having that conversation is always really, really helpful. It's wonderful when we can kind of be proactive, you know, talk about things like from the start of the process, and that just always makes things a lot more smooth and seamless.
For more information about service animals, visit Canine Companion's website at canine.org.
After being temporarily closed for roughly a year and a half, the Greene County Airport restaurant has officially announced that they will not be returning. The announcement came in early September by restaurant owner Kathy Kiger. According to Kiger, a fire in the airport's main building caused water and smoke damage to restaurant facilities in the spring of 2021. Kiger had been the owner of the restaurant since 2000 and said that although the decision to close down was hard, she's looking forward to her retirement ahead. The Waynesburg University newspaper, the Yellow Jacket, will have the full story on the airport restaurant's time in Waynesburg at theyellowjacket.org and in print editions available on campus today. That's all for campus and local news. When we come back, we'll have news from around the nation.
This is producer Caleb Yager, and you are watching The Buzz.
Welcome back to the newscast live at 5. As Florida copes with the devastation left by Hurricane Ian, FEMA is opening intake sites around the state where people can register for help. That includes hard-hit Seminole County where floodwaters remain. Dave McDaniel reports.
Yesterday it went down for the first time about a half of an inch, and today I guess another half, so it's down at about an inch now.
Even with record flooding levels at Lake Harney, falling an inch matters.
1 inch is making all the difference right now, and I'm able to keep the pumps going and get the water out as fast as it's coming in, so it's working so far.
Lake Harney has crested and is falling slowly. Lake Jessup is also cresting. Lake Monroe may come up a bit in the next day or two.
Maybe an inch to 3 inches more at Sanford at the downtown area, and then it'll start to go down.
That's water inside.
Water inside your what, your sunroom?
Yeah.
J.D. Hunter shared these photos from his home near Mullet Lake Park. With water coming in and not yet cresting, he dropped by the newly opened FEMA site in Seminole County, even though he has homeowners and flood insurance.
Oh, it could pay the deductible. Who knows what it could do, but it's great that the assistance is there. Never thought I'd need it, and maybe I won't need it.
FEMA says many prefer face-to-face rather than over the phone or online registration.
This way you can go in, talk to a person one-on-one, get a straight answer, ask your questions, look somebody in the eye that you can believe that knows what they're talking about.
FEMA generally handles those without insurance or the underinsured, but there are other services like temporary sheltering when your home can't be lived in.
Airbnb, and it's very expensive, and it's because we have a big family. There's 6 of us, 6 animals, bird and stuff, so it's very hard to get a place.
He says his family has started the process with FEMA.
North Korea launched a missile over Japan Tuesday, causing Japan to warn its citizens to take shelter. By Wednesday, the U.S. and South Korean military responded with a live fire exercise. Here's a look. South Korean and U.S. forces fired missiles into the Korean peninsula. According to national security, the launch was designed to demonstrate that the U.S. and its allies are ready to respond to aggression by North Korea.
By Wednesday, Amazon has suspended about 50 workers with pay in Staten Island, New York. That's according to Connor Spence, who is one of the suspended workers and the Secretary-Treasurer for the Amazon Labor Union. Spence said it started when a fire broke out at the unionized warehouse on Monday afternoon. The entire building was evacuated and the day shift workers were sent home with pay. Spence said the night shift workers arrived and they're told, get to work. But the building still smelled of smoke, so it's difficult for some to breathe. The workers organized a work stoppage, and Spence estimated about 100 people walked out on the job. An Amazon spokesperson said the fire was outside the warehouse and the fire department had deemed the building safe. He said it was a small group who refused to work. Amazon plans to conduct an investigation into what really happened. The retailer does not formally recognize or bargain with the union.
It looks like U.S. intelligence believes Ukraine may have had something to do with a car bombing that killed the daughter of a prominent Russian political figure. Daria Dugina was killed in August after a bomb planted in her father's car exploded while she was driving it. U.S. officials believe her father, political activist Alexander Dugina, was the intended target. According to sources, the intelligence community believes elements within the Ukrainian government authorized the attack. They do not know who may have signed off on the killing or if Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was even aware of the plot. Russia has accused Ukrainian nationals of being responsible for the bombing, but Ukraine has strongly denied the allegation.
It's been more than 100 days since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. Some Democrats marked this week's controversial milestone by urging abortion rights activists to vote. Democrats are trying to energize abortion rights supporters before elections next month. That's as some polls suggest voter fervor might be waning. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers called a special legislative session yesterday. He asked lawmakers to let voters decide if the state should keep its 1849 abortion ban. Republicans who control the Assembly and Senate ended the sessions in fewer than 30 seconds and without action. Abortion access is a rallying point at the federal level too, since Congress has the power to restore federal abortion rights. In Georgia's Senate race, the issue is center stage for a different reason. Republican Senate nominee Herschel Walker is issuing a strong denial after the Daily Beast reported he paid for a girlfriend's abortion 13 years ago. Walker faces incumbent Senator Raphael Warnock in that Georgia Senate race. That's all for national news. Next up after the break is your business and entertainment update. But first, we have a weather update from Gwen Napier.
I'm Gwen Napier, standing here on Waynesburg's campus where it's a beautiful day, 66 degrees. I'll have more for the weather later in the newscast.
You're watching WCTV, where we aim to bring you the best local coverage of what you care about most. Everything from local businesses to hometown sports and the latest weather. We're keeping up to date with what you need to know about issues that affect our campus and our community. We're telling the stories that matter, celebrating our past, our future, and our potential. So tune in for all the latest buzz right here on WCTV Channel 14, Waynesburg.
Hello and welcome back. I'm Kaylin Elliott and this is your business and entertainment update. Buying a car, it's one of life's big expenses, and it's growing increasingly tougher to afford one. Soaring interest rates, ongoing auto part shortages coupled with high demand are leading to higher cost. And if you've been waiting to buy a new or used car, experts say the car market isn't coming down to normal levels anytime soon. In today's Consumer Watch, a closer look at what you can expect.
Auto part shortages, high demand, and soaring interest rates, all driving up car prices.
That means you can't find what you want, and you're going to pay more for it if you can.
And experts say if you've been waiting to buy a new or used car, don't expect the car market to come down to normal levels anytime soon. Experts say companies and dealers have little incentives to take action to bring down costs.
There aren't many new cars available. Toyota, others have said they just don't have a lot of supply. They're really scarce, and the used cars are incredibly highly priced.
New car prices hit a record in August, up 30% over the last 3 years. And used car prices are still up 48% from August of 2019, according to the latest Consumer Price Index. Experts say automakers are still facing shortages of computer chips and other car parts.
That means that prices go up. That means it's harder to find components. It's hard to get things fixed when you go to a repair shop. So all of it creates this kind of snowball cycle.
Meanwhile, rising interest rates mean some car shoppers are already being forced out of the market. According to Cox Automotive, people with weak credit ratings usually make up 15% of new car purchases. Now they're down to just 5%. And according to Edmunds.com, the average new car loan interest rate reached 5.7% in the third quarter of this year. That's the highest it's been since 2019. If you can't wait for the market to improve and need a car now, here's one tip.
Don't go to a bank and don't get it from the dealer. Go to a credit union. They have lower rates because they don't pay tax.
For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Meanwhile, Americans are holding onto their cars longer and longer. Twitter stock exploded upward 13% during today's midday trading, after an announcement about a possible deal between the social media giant and Elon Musk. According to the Washington Post and Bloomberg, the founder of Tesla proposed to buy Twitter for just over $54 per share. That is the price the two parties had originally agreed to before a legal battle brewed when Musk tried to end the $44 billion agreement. Twitter then sued Musk for not going through with the purchase. If Musk and Twitter come to terms, analysts say the litigation between the two parties will likely end. Musk has previously said that if he was in charge of Twitter, he would bring changes, including more of what he calls free speech, to the platform. A sneak peek at the Black Panther sequel and a first look at Will Smith's first movie release since the slapping incident with Chris Rock are in today's Hollywood Minute. Rick Damagella reports.
Show them who we are.
Disney and Marvel Studios are showing MCU fans even more of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. The movie's second trailer doesn't specifically reveal who is now wearing the suit and carrying the mantle of Black Panther. The superpowered sequel arrives in movie theaters November 11th.
I heard it myself. Slaves are free. Zazu. Lincoln.
Here is your first look at Will Smith in Emancipation. This is Smith's first project to reach audiences since the incident at this year's Oscars ceremony. Directed and executive produced by Antoine Fuqua and based on a true story, the movie stars Smith as a runaway slave trying to escape from plantation owners. Emancipation debuts in theaters December 2nd, followed by Apple TV Plus December 9th. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
Bad news. Gas could start getting more expensive again. OPEC is planning to slash oil production by 2 million barrels per day starting in November. It's the biggest cut since the start of the pandemic. Wednesday's news came after the group of major oil producers, which includes Saudi Arabia and Russia, met for the first time in person since March 2020. They say the move comes, quote, in light of the uncertainty that surrounds the global economic and oil market outlooks. The White House calls it short-sighted, but the impact of this cut may be limited since many smaller OPEC producers were struggling to meet previous production targets. Still, rising oil prices could mean inflation stays higher for longer, adding to the pressure on the Federal Reserve to hike interest rates even more aggressively. That's all for your business and entertainment update. When we come back, you'll get all the latest on Waynesburg sports right here on WCTV with Caleb Yager.
Have you ever been to the Everly Library? If not, you should, because it's great. They have books of all different genres: history, biography, fiction. Try The Evolution of Life, Life of Pi, or Jurassic Park. So what if books aren't your thing? Try movies like Frozen, or TV shows like Lost. Books and DVDs aren't the only thing though. Take a trip to the second floor. Welcome to the Writing Center. These tutors will tell you everything you need to know about writing a paper, and they'll help revise your essays. Now let's head back down. Behold, the Knox Learning Center. Need to print something out 5 minutes before your next class because you procrastinated? No problem. You can also print off pictures of dogs. Because, well, you can. So grab your homework, laptop, and textbook, and study diligently. Bring your lunch too. Actually, you can't. That's illegal. Now you know the Everly Library. Stop by anytime. Seriously, it's open all week.
Back here on Channel 14 News, I'm Caleb Yager. Here's what's going on for Waynesburg Athletics with homecoming just around the corner. The Yellow Jacket football team had this past weekend to rest after coming off a loss to the Allegheny College Gators the previous week. Waynesburg is currently 2-2 overall, 1-1 in conference play, which is good for 5th place in the PAC standings. And they've got a tough opponent on Saturday as they host the number 18 ranked Carnegie Mellon University Tartans at John F. Wiley Stadium. That game begins at 1 o'clock, and you can catch the game on the Waynesburg University Sports Network, where Brock Owens and I will have the call. Last Thursday, the volleyball team played its final non-conference game against I-79 rival W&J. Ethan Spazarski was there, and he'll tell you all about it.
The Waynesburg women's volleyball team fell to Washington and Jefferson in 3-0 last Thursday at the Rudy Marissa Fieldhouse.
Junior Michaela Baniaga led the team with 9 kills and had 1 block and 15 digs.
Here's what Baniaga had to say on the team's performance after the match.
I thought we played pretty good, but I think we could have been way better. We did have a lot of fight tonight, but I think we still have a lot of stuff to work on tomorrow.
Sophomore Paige Cowsley led the team with 18 aces and 19 digs. Washington and Jefferson, however, found themselves ahead during most of the match. Freshman Faith Fatesco led the team with 12 kills along with a block and 2 assists. Sophomore setter Adriana Sacramento led the Presidents with 2 kills and 31 assists and had 12 digs. Head coach Emily Grossman had this to say on what she saw during the match for her team.
It's longer than I would have liked to play through it and be confident in it, but we didn't run that yesterday in practice. That was a spur-of-the-moment thing that I felt gave us a bigger block, having 2 right-side hitters in all the time instead of having setters play in the front row. And we're building every day. I mean, we played scrappy volleyball. It just wasn't consistent enough for me, and we're looking to change that.
Grossman mentioned how happy she has been with Riley Ruffley in her previous contest.
Yes, so I was really impressed with Riley Ruffley on Tuesday. I had to give Tristan some extra rest just because these Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday weeks can be a lot on your body. And I was impressed with the way Riley played, so that change was made to incorporate in her lineup in our lineup because I thought she deserved it.
For WCTV, this is Ethan Spazarski.
Since then, the Yellow Jackets have dropped their first 2 conference matches against Allegheny College and Chatham University, both by scores of 3-0. They sit second to last in the standings, but tonight the squad will make the long haul up to Greenville to face the Teal College Tomcats tonight at 7 o'clock. Women's soccer had quite the outing on Saturday against Teal as the Yellow Jackets scored 5 unanswered goals to start the game and eventually took the contest 5-1. And by the way, those 5 goals were scored by 5 different players. Tuesday night, however, neither team found the back of the net. W&J and Waynesburg ended at a 0-0 draw at John F. Wiley Stadium, but the Presidents won in the shot category 24-3, 12-1 for on-goal attempts. And the men's soccer team also got the win on Saturday at Teal. The team did trail 1-0 heading into the second half, but the second half on the pitch was successful for the Yellow Jackets thanks to goals from junior forward Ben White and freshman forward Alex Canestraro. And last night, Waynesburg ended in a 1-1 draw against W&J. Once again, the Yellow Jackets conceded a goal via a penalty kick, but the response from the lone senior Samuel Hawkins put Waynesburg on the board. Both the men's and women's squads will face Allegheny College on Saturday night in a doubleheader against Allegheny. The men start at 6 and the women start at 8. Super Smash Bros. Competed for esports this past Friday. Dane went 0 for 3, Tim went 3-0, and Kolseb went 3-0 as well. Dane now has an overall record of 0-2, while Timbo and Kolseb are both 2-0, which means that they are at the top of their divisions, respectively. And they'll begin competing tomorrow at 5 p.m. Yesterday, the League of Legends team for Waynesburg Esports got its first victory 2-1 over Misericordia University, and they start up again on Wednesday against Randolph-Macon College. And the undefeated Rocket League team takes on East Stroudsburg University tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Some other events to keep an eye on. Men's and women's golf are preparing for the PAC Fall Championships next Wednesday and Thursday. After taking 3 9-0 losses in a row to W&J, Grove City, and Geneva, the women's tennis team is looking to bounce back tomorrow at home against Allegheny. The first match for men's tennis ended in an 8-1 loss to Geneva. And finally, men's and women's cross country will be participating in the Waynesburg Homecoming 5K Saturday morning at 8:30. That's the latest for Waynesburg Sports. Stay tuned for your weather forecast with Gwen Napier, which is coming right up here on Channel 14 News.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gwen Napier, and I'll be here giving you the forecast. This evening will be a low of 50 degrees and partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow will be a high of 58 and a low of 40 degrees. And we'll be seeing those cloudy skies carry over with a little sun earlier in the day. Saturday will be a high of 68 and a low of 36, which is the lowest temperature of the week. And once again, skies will be cloudy. Going into Sunday, we'll finally be seeing some sunny skies with a high of 59 and a low of 38. Those sunny skies will be carrying over into Monday, which will have a high of 63 and a low of 39 and mostly sunny skies. Tuesday will be a high of 66 and a low of 43, and we'll be seeing a few clouds overnight. Wednesday will bring in the highest temperature of the week with a high of 70 degrees and a low of 52, and partly cloudy skies during the day with occasional showers heading into the evening. Overall, it's going to be a beautiful week, so make sure you go outside and enjoy the warm temperatures because next week is going to be significantly colder. I'm Gwen Napier, and this has been your weather forecast right here on WCTV.
Well, everybody, midterms are coming up. Caleb, you're graduating after the semester. It's your last round of midterms. How are we feeling?
Time goes by way too fast. I'm going to try to enjoy it. Although midterms are coming up, I do really want to enjoy this last semester, especially with you guys. Absolutely.
And Kaylin, it's your first year here at Waynesburg. What do you expect from your midterms here, different from Elon?
I'm really excited to have more like hands-on midterms, less tests and less essays, so I'm really excited for them actually.
Darian, we've been through the ropes before going into our third year. That's all we have here for Channel 14 News. From Logan Lepiscopo, Darian Allensworth, Caleb Yager, and Kaylin Elian, this has been your newscast live at 5.
This has been a production of Waynesburg Community Television.